Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if the sound is good. And I have a little bit of lag going on. Hey, Kitty, how you doing? Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Gothic, how you doing? What's up? Okay, the sound sounds good. That's awesome sauce. I love that for me and for everybody out there listening. Oh boy. Okay, so straight off the bat, we're going to start doing the live streams in a different kind of way, just a little bit. Welcome to Words Have Power, by the way. I'm Words. And we're going to read a little bit of something to start off with. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Frank Herbert from Dune. That has been something that's gotten me through a lot of hard times through the years. I also want to say something. There's a quote from Dr. Ramani. You don't want to serve up your pain to someone who's going to melt it into bullets. You don't want to serve your pain to somebody who's going to melt them into bullets. Just a thing to think about. Tired and sick, stupid. Yeah, I hear you. All right, so it's been a hell of a weekend for me, so I am just kind of we have 2 more DV victims out. Only one wasn't really a DV victim. Straight off the bat, I'm just going to say this. Please do not use dating apps for the foreseeable future. This particular person, we'd already been talking, like we're mutuals on the other app for a while. They were not really a content creator. She went on one date through a dating app. One date. This dude had to have used her license plate to figure out where she lived. Showed up at her apartment, and I do have permission to talk about this, by the way. Showed up at her apartment, pushed his way into her apartment, passed her, and was like, I'm going to stay on your couch. And then proceeded to do so. Stayed on her couch. Refused to leave her apartment for any reason. To the point that the air on his tires, like his tires went flat. He wouldn't leave the apartment for any reason. Mind you, they went on one date. And it was not an impressive date. When I tell you that she could not get the police to help her, she called the law enforcement. Mind you, she had children in that domicile with her. And, had to take certain measures to make sure her children were okay. Called the police to get them out there to try to get him out of her place. He was not on the lease. They went on one date, which was cut short because he didn't know how to behave. So he starts getting violent. We've talked about this before, okay? If this happens, the likelihood that further worse things are going to happen increases. I'm not going to go into too much detail right now. This is going to be so between her, me, and the amazing ladies who were working in the office at her apartment complex, finally got law enforcement to look up his name. and he has an extensive criminal history. The first time she called law enforcement, they said, well, it's just a DV thing. You need to talk to him. He hasn't really hurt you, so it's no big deal. They went on one date that was cut short. That's not a DV situation. That's trespassing. That's all kinds of other things. That's not DV. I think the only reason that law enforcement took it serious at all was because the ladies in the office of her apartment complex, they called law enforcement, and they were like, this guy needs to get out of here. He's not on the lease. We want him bounced. And so it was the property manager, security, and law enforcement went up to her apartment and finally got him out. And I had to sit her father down and explain that he needed to step up, because he was thinking that she just decided to get into that kind of situation. She went on one date that was cut short. Mind you, I keep saying this. I keep trying to drill this in. One date that was cut short. Her own dad would not help her, acting like it's somehow her fault. Thankfully, she had other family members, her grandmother in particular, who understood what was happening and the severity of the situation and was also helping. The real DV situationship where I helped that victim get out was easier than this other situation that wasn't even DV. And it is so frustrating. If you are law enforcement and you see this video, do not ever tell someone, well, you need to talk it out with that person when that person has done this, because you're putting that person's life in danger, direct danger. Just so y'all know, if law enforcement is not doing their job the way they are supposed to, if they're not even running the name of the person who is the offender in the situation to see if there's a criminal background, then they're malfeasant. They're not doing their jobs appropriately. In most jurisdictions, you can file a complaint anonymously, which is what I did. I got that badge number, I got that name, I got that unit number for the police car, for the police unit. And I filed a complaint. And I told the victim, the ladies at the office, everybody how they could do it too. And it's usually actually pretty easy. So that tells me that we may be going back to a situation where law enforcement's like, yeah, it's a family matter. You have to deal with it yourself, which is how it used to be back in the 70s, like probably late 80s back. That's how it used to be. If you had a DV situation going on, law enforcement would not help you. Okay, just so you know. But on top of that, with everything that's going on in this country right now, we need to talk about preparing for the worst, hoping for the best, okay? So I worked in disaster relief for a long time. I have worked tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, one wildfire. I don't work wildfires. They terrify me. I think 2 or 3 tsunamis. I don't think I ever worked any earthquake disasters, but all kinds of other things. So we're going to talk about how to prepare ahead of time. Some of you might be in apartment complexes and you might feel like you have more limited space, but you have more space than you realize. And you can do way more than you realize. Even if you have like a patio and you have that sliding door, the one side of the door that doesn't open or close, you can put a shelf up there and just have all plants to grow food. Seasonings of various kinds. Aloe plants are good for burns, things like that. trust and believe there have been times that wildfire, for example, where an aloe plant really came in handy because somebody got a burn from an ember, and that aloe plant really helped. So here's what we're doing. One of the things we're saving plastic containers. Okay, I like my creamer, so we're saving these. I just wash them out, put a little bit of soap, put that cap back on, shake it up, rinse it out, clean it out. Cut off. I usually will cut off right here at the top line. You can take the top, flip it over. It's another smaller container where you can grow sprouts and things like that. Then the bottom piece is a pot. And you didn't have to spend any money on it. You can do that with all kinds of other larger plastic containers. They're plastic. Just poke holes in the bottom. There you go. There's a pot. And anything that's like a longer, like a platter type thing, save those. Use those tops, man. Use them. Don't throw them in the garbage. That's a free pot. What are you doing? And we're going to have to get crafty with things. With all these tariffs coming up, think about it. What comes from Colombia? Coffee, tea, a whole bunch of other things. Oh, hold on, y'all. Unfortunately, where I am, the police services here only 1/3 actually believe victims and take things seriously. I'm not surprised at all. This weekend was rough, man. I'm like drained. So if I seem low energy, that's why. And it is not the fault of the victims. I just want to make that clear. It's the offenders who did the thing who are at fault. Okay. You're from Canada. I kind of wish I was in Canada right now with my family, my whole family and all of my friends. Just bring everyone to somewhere else. But don't be surprised if they start trying to do things in Canada too. Be on your guard, man, because Dominionists want to take this worldwide. They're not kidding. They're not joking. All right, so yeah, think about plastic containers. If you have, I'm looking at something right now that I could use as like a atrium to grow food. It's just a glass, a tall glass, like decorative thing. Just set something on top of that. Put your plants and your soil and all your stuff in there. Set that on top. It's easy to make tea. Super, super duper easy. There was one disaster where this whole neighborhood was wiped out. One house was still standing there, and that one woman actually knew how to make like soap and all kinds of stuff. And man, when I tell you she kicked it into gear, she kicked it into like beyond double time. She was making soaps, shampoos, conditioners, candles, all kinds of stuff, and just giving them away. And people were bringing her supplies to make more. Yeah, we're going to have to start to get inventive. It's looking like things might get real bad. I will be talking about these things more to try to help people. I might even take y'all on the journey of, going through the process to begin to build a garden. Even if you have a small window, you still have light coming in. That's all you need. A lot of plants out there don't need like full direct light full time. And also, if you can get your hands on the bulbs, the yep, it was a rough weekend. What the hydroponic bulbs? I have a friend who started what she calls a shelf garden in her basement. She has like 4 or 5 of them with just a bulb. She barely has to buy any produce at the grocery store anymore. And her food's growing night and day. You might want to rethink that because things are going downhill fast here. And there's also Another thing, there's kind of a blackout on information. Go to your nearest search bar and type in Democratic. See what comes up. Type in protests. Do y'all know that there are protests going on all over the world right now for us? There was a protest in Dallas. It was huge. There were so many people. Did you hear about it? Yep. Seriously, I do a search. Go into your nearest search engine and do a search and see what you see. I mean, here, hold on. While we're just sitting talking, we're just sitting here having a conversation. No biggie, right? No biggie. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. Okay, so that came up, so that's good. And maybe it's because I'm on a different search engine. I stopped using Google. That has changed, but there is something at least. That's good. Okay. Maybe it's a Google thing. I'm not having that problem here. Hold on. One sec. I'm curious now. The fuck? It's what the I've never seen that before. Hold on one second. I just typed this into Google and well, it came up, but it asked for my current location and it asked that's weird. Okay. Let me type something in. Okay, so that came up for me, but yet again, it's asking for my location and information. Excuse me? What? Absolutely not. Get fucked. Tens of thousands protest Germany's far right as Musk, remember the dude who did the salute twice on stage? Yeah. Endorses AfD. That's the new Schindler group over there, by the way. Yeah, and he's all about it. Hundreds of Chicago protesters march to stop Trump agenda. Demonstration alert message for U.S. citizens scheduled protest nationwide on January 24th. This is from the U.S. Embassy in Slovakia. What? Wow. That's amazing. Thank you, Slovakia. What? Anti-Trump protests sweep the globe on Inauguration Day in pictures. Yeah. Um, Now I haven't really seen all that much about this in the news, like legacy news. I'm seeing a lot of it like um, from other news sources. So, um, Yeah. Like Legacy News is useless. Don Lemon is on here and he's talking about these things. It's pretty amazing. Yep, it seems that way, huh? Exactly. Exactly. So, it's we got to start really thinking of ways to prepare and get ready because these tariffs and also the lack of migrant workers, America has always been propped up by the labor of migrant workers, always. They've always been out there in the fields picking food, especially on the West Coast. So produce is going to be it's going to be a struggle, baby. It's going to be a serious struggle. Um, okay, you can come say hi. It's fine. Let me do this so y'all can see. You want to say hi? Oh, it's hug time. Okay, hold on. It is hug time. All right, so just be prepared. And remember, if you have kitty babies, they can help you with any kind of pest control, things like that. Um, you know, if you're planting food gardens, try to make it to where the cats cannot, if you have cats, dogs, any of that, make sure they cannot get access to those plants because they might be poisonous to your fur babies. But also keep in mind that if you have birds, for example, you can grow things that they like to eat as well. Okay. Um, and if you go to your nearest used bookstore and look for books on foraging, like out in like near me, there's forest all around here. So I'm gonna get some books on that. I think I can remember a bunch of things from childhood. I mean, you can make acorn flour. It's not easy to make, but you can do it. Um, a lot of the plants that we look at and think of as weeds are not actually weeds. They might have medicinal properties and also nutrients. Dandelions. Dandelions are high in all kinds of nutrients. Just putting it out there. And it is easy to make dandelion tea or use dandelions in a soup. Super easy. I'm saying this for a reason because if you don't have access to certain kinds of fruits and vegetables, you can get really, really sick really easy. And that's part of the reason, if we were in a disaster area and supplies were short, which would happen on occasion, um, we'd have to be like, hey, grab all the dandelions as long as that area has not been sprayed with pesticides. Grab all of them. Just fill up a garbage bag with them, and you can use them to keep people healthy, right? Um, look at different survival manuals. I think what the Boy Scouts had a survival manual. I used to have a copy of it. I don't anymore. Um, I'll have to see if I can find another one, but that had a lot of really good information in it. So, yeah. And there are going to be people who are saying that I am just rage farming or doom farming or whatever. They said that about the things that I would say before Roe fell. Here we are. Was I wrong? No, I wasn't wrong. I've seen the aftermath of the fall of a democracy, and I'm telling you to get ready. Now, if you're here in the US, prepare. You have somebody who worked in disaster relief for over 2 decades who's telling you, giving you this information for free. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what we are going to do. We're going to get ready. Be ready to help your neighbors. Try to network and get to know your neighbors. Like, we don't really know our neighbors here yet, but I'm going to be reaching out and just getting to know people. Because in times like what might be coming up, you have to come together as a community. The people who come together as a community and help each other are the ones who survive. I'm just telling you what I've seen in the past. Come together to take care of those kiddos. Like the whole reason I'm doing this video right here is in the hopes that something I say in this video will help you to help a child, that or a pregnant woman or an elderly person. Yay, it's 2025. This is America. So as it stands now, I'm just putting this out there. I considering what happened over the weekend, I'm just going to say this. If you have someone in your life who is dealing with a toxic and or dangerous person, please help them. Step up and help them. Make it your problem. Don't sit there, well, it's not my problem. It's, I can't really do anything, yada, yada. Yes, you can. You can be a person that they can vent to, which will probably get them through to the point of realizing that they need to do something proactively to get out of that situationship. You can provide them with resources. You can tell them about these videos. You can tell them about Dr. Ramani. That right there. Tell them about Dr. Ramani. You can do a lot of things. You can get your friend group together and prepare for when they're ready to come out and come up with a plan of action for when they're ready. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, right? I've seen groups of people put together money and just put it in a safe place for a U-Haul, for a storage unit, for packing materials, for when they were ready to leave out. And it was a good thing they did that too. Yeah, there's a lot that you can do. And I'm so sick of hearing people say, well, it's not really my problem. Yeah, they're my friend, but it's not really my problem. I don't want friends like that. Do you? I mean, really, who wants friends like that? I find it interesting that now this is coming up on these searches because a friend of mine did a search and showed me the screenshots where nothing was coming up. She typed in, was it Democratic Party, liberal, like different words, and she showed me the screenshots. So maybe they fixed it. Maybe they realized they got busted. That's interesting. It's all weird, man. It's all weird. We're all mad here. I don't know. So I'm just saying, if you've got a window, then you can pull together a garden, and you should do so. Yeah. Try to look for local sources for seeds, local farmers markets, local gardeners. Do seed banks together. A lot of the produce that you buy at the grocery store, you can save the seeds from them, some of them, and grow more food. Potatoes. Potatoes can get you a long way. And you can season those however you want to change up how it tastes for your morale. That's the thing that in disaster relief, we did that all the time. We'd have like a box with all kinds of seasonings. That way we didn't get tired of eating the same thing every meal. Yes, right here. Save those eggshells, dry them out, and grind them for the soil. Yeah. Get a little grinder thing. I need to get a new one for coffee. Use it for eggshells too. Onion, yep. Garlic, yep. Like the staples, you know what I mean? And you don't need a lot of space really to grow a decent garden. I'm just saying that's what we're gonna do. I just need like potting soil or like gardening soil and seeds. But we just about have enough pots for me to start something at least. So yeah. I know a bunch of the people that I work security with and their significant others are already doing that. The Valkyrie, from I'm knowing them, they already have like a friggin' all that up and running. And yeah, this is insane, y'all. I'm 51 years old and I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. They're talking about doing away with FEMA completely. Does FEMA have problems? Yes, it does. But could those problems be fixed? Yes. They could just fix the problems. They could have someone who has worked in disaster relief and understands what the problems are and fixes it instead of just deleting the whole thing. And apparently they're going to do away with free weather reporting and a bunch of other things. This right here. Things are going to get bad. If we keep going down this path that they're going down, things are going to get really fucking bad. The Democratic Party, if there even is one anymore, really needs to step up. And we, the people, need to rise. I know a lot of you, like Trump, Republicans think that everything's going to be okay, but this is not going to be okay. When governments start stripping things out away from you, when they take rights away from other people, they are also taking rights away from you. Just think about that for a second. Now, another thing that you can do, don't shop at the stores the ones who are doing away with the DEI programming and materials are the ones who are your enemy. So Maki and I are going to be going to like places like Costco, who, by the way, actually treats their employees like they're humans. Just saying. Exactly. If one person can be denied, any person can be denied and will be. Because at this point, it should be obvious to people that if you're not a millionaire or a billionaire, you're not invited to the table, baby. You're not invited to the party. Go watch George Carlin. He laid it all out for all of us. I literally just quoted George Carlin. The, who in Trump's administration is not a millionaire at a minimum? It's a pay to play situation. You have to be able to contribute millions of dollars to him if you want to. Isn't it obvious by now? And a majority of his base is in red states. They are going to suffer. The next hurricane that rolls through the Gulf of Mexico, yes, I said the Gulf of Mexico, the next hurricane that rolls through there and hits Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, North and South Carolina, Florida. Y'all are going to be hating life because there isn't going to be FEMA there anymore to help y'all out. You thought it was bad before, wait for it. You haven't seen anything yet because all the insurance companies are pulling out of those states and FEMA's pulling out and going to be deleted apparently. You're going to have no help. So if you're already poor, but you're able to maintain because you at least have your home, you're not going to have that anymore. Guess what? You're the new homeless. And they're trying to round up all of the homeless people and use them as free labor. Woke just means compassionate. Yeah, you're right, though. They don't like George Carlin. He's far too woke for them. Yeah. Woke just means compassionate, caring, loving, understanding other people, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. Empathy. Woke means empathy. This is not hard. They've vilified empathy. Why would they do that? So yeah, I'm gonna keep this stream short today. If y'all don't mind sharing it, share it everywhere. Get this information out there. This is just a very short, like, kind of giving you ideas, right? Start thinking anything that's plastic, this will stay forever in a landfill. I will be able to use this for years as a pot. Exactly. Because by vilifying empathy, we can get people complacent with hate. Yes. So people are becoming more and more apathetic, uncaring. And that's going to translate when shit hits the fan, when things go real bad. That's going to translate. And all those people who have been prepping for all these years and have all this food stored and yada, 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 people know you've been doing that. They think that, man, if you don't have a community that you're working with around you, isolationism doesn't work with humans because humans are pack animals. We need community to fully function properly. It is just true. So, I don't know. This is in what, a week? Has it been? How long has it been since Trump was inaugurated now? It feels like half a year. I don't even think it's been 2 weeks yet. If you're a prepper and are arrogant about it, in disaster, you are the rich. And you find out the hard way. I have seen that go down. Or the aftermath, really, of, you know, last Monday. Last Monday. And so much has happened that I'm just like, wow. And that is the point, to overwhelm you. That's the point. In other videos, I have said, when they really get rolling, it will overwhelm you. And that is done by design. They're doing it this way by design. Don't be surprised when the Department of Education goes down and all the schools are closed. Don't be surprised when Medicaid and Medicare are gone, along with Social Security. The reason Social Security was created in the first place was because elderly people would buy cans of dog food and cat food to eat because they couldn't afford to pay their bills and buy groceries. That's why Social Security, part of the reason Social Security was started. Now they want to do away with it, and we've all paid into it. That's our money. It's not an entitlement. It is basically a savings account for all Americans. And they're going to take all that money and steal it from all of us. Meanwhile, billionaires and companies won't have to pay taxes. We all will. If you're not a millionaire or a billionaire, you're not invited to the table and you don't get a say. You will be a serf. In Project 2025, if I'm not mistaken, it's Project 2025, they literally say that poor people are meant to labor for those blessed by God. Now, that might have been in one of the other documents that there, if you search online, you'll search on dominionist documents, dominionism. There are a bunch of different search words. You'll see for yourself. They've been saying this for a long time. They got their foot in the door with Reagan. That's how he won the president, his first term. Come on, people. Like, this has been in the works for a while. And now they're implementing Project 2025, which is the culmination of the Dominionist documents, the 4 pillars, the 7 mountain mandate, Rick Scott's 11-point plan, and there was another one. Shoot, I'm forgetting it. And then now Project 2025. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What happens when you have millionaires and billionaires, mostly billionaires, really, to be fair, getting into cahoots with extremely wealthy, right-wing evangelical dominionists? What happens? What is happening right now? And the thing that gets me, the only way they can win is if they cheat. And that's what they did with this last election. And what is the Democratic Party doing? You cannot negotiate with a terrorist and you cannot negotiate with a bully. You just can't. Look at Gavin Newsom when Trump went out there. Look how Gavin Newsom, like, he handled the bully the right way, the way you have to. Trump's not going to listen to women. He's not going to listen to people of color, but he will listen to strong YT men who are not scared of him. You cannot show the slightest bit of weakness or fear. The Democratic Party, they all need to shine up those spines and put on those gloves and get to fighting. This is disgusting, dude. And I have a question. If Trump is now technically the commander in chief, could the military court martial him? It's unprecedented. I don't know if that's even a thing. I'm just curious. I have questions. Is that a thing? I don't know. But America's never been here before. So we're right on time now. I do believe. Close to 250 years. Yep. Yep. Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, and a few other states are trying some pretty significant and serious things right now to see what they can get away with. You know, trying to implement things in this state and that state. And so that it's hard for you to keep up with what they're doing, right? So they can take things national. So a ban on ending a pregnancy for any reason, mind you. No exceptions. Several states are trying to do that. And then just Yeah, so many. The IGs. You can't just fire an IG like that. He's trying to disregard and ignore Congress and Senate and all of the checks and balances. That's what he's trying to do right now. So, and what is the Democratic Party doing? I don't know. Taking money from big donors? Where's the fight? Where's the fight? Now's the time to be fighting. So, yay. All right, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna play Cyberpunk. It's just, I love y'all. Oh boy. We need to start pulling shit together, dude. Y'all. It kind of looks like that's what he's trying to do, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not the only one saying this, so I've literally watched experts on it, like PhDs on this subject, like just like what the like if I'm just a fearmonger or whatever, then why is it that experts in these fields, like I'm listening to them and I'm like, wow, if they're scared and they're freaking out a little bit, that that speaks volumes to me. I don't know. And I don't know, but I think FEMA is pretty friggin' important to people who live along the Gulf and the West Coast and the East Coast and in the North. It's important to everyone in this country. Arkansas, you're not exempt. Those tornadoes. And all those red states are not going to be able to afford to do a damn thing. And what, huh, what emergency shit do they even have in place? Most of those states don't really have a decent emergency plan that's actually going to function for everyone. Do you know who they're actually worried about? I can tell you because I know. They're actually worried about the wealthy neighborhoods. Why do y'all think that that levee ruptured in the Ninth Ward in New Orleans after Katrina? So that the Garden District and the CBD and the French Quarter would not be heavily flooded. That's why. And before anyone says, oh, it's just not true, oh, blah, 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 they did the same thing during Betsy. It happened twice. Not once, twice. Once could be a coincidence. It could be an accident. Twice is a pattern. This right here. All of this right here. Yep. And now you're not going to have the immigrant community to help you rebuild anyway. So there, out in California, there are developments that are just sitting there, not being worked on because they don't have the workforce anymore. Hmm. Hmm. Isn't that interesting? There are whole fields that are ready to be harvested that are just sitting there because they don't have the workforce. Hey, dyslexia, how you doing? It's good to see you. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm 51 years old. I've never seen anything like this on a national scale, but I did grow up in Flint, Michigan. Welcome to Flint, Michigan, y'all. Y'all just if you did not grow up in Flint, Michigan or Detroit or certain parts of LA where all the jobs just up and left, We don't have the infrastructure we used to have. We don't have the manufacturing we used to have because the powers that be let all that stuff go to other countries for that cheaper labor. Most of the factories that were in Flint, Michigan, and Detroit, and other areas, they're gone. So what now? I have an idea right now that could actually be actually a really good way to create manufacturing here in the US, but I don't have the capital. I don't have billions of dollars in my pocket to make it happen. I don't have emeralds from my daddy's emerald mine to make it happen. But you see, I would actually build the company myself instead of buying it already pre-made, smacking my fucking name on it, and then calling myself a genius. We have let nepo babies and narcissists take over this country. Nothing good is going to happen from this. You are too cute, and I love you. Yes, it is. He was on the golf course. He should. Mm, hmm. Must be nice to golf while people are suffering. But I mean, he's going to spend most of his time on the golf course anyway because he doesn't know what he doesn't. He's not the real president. He's a puppet. And why is he still doing rallies? We all know why, right? Because that's what his idol Shitler did. I mean, sure, definitely. We actually should. Um, most of the poetry I like is kind of dark. Okay, so I can share you the shenanigans of this one here. This one here, okay, who likes to give me hugs. Um, she got mad earlier because I was in the bathroom and decided to ah to put her paw up under the door and be like, "But where 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 is the mommy?" Okay, listen. All all right, no, you cannot have that blanket. It is behind me. No. She's trying to get up on my neck. Um, and she was really, really mad that the door was closed. Like, she does not like a closed door. So she had a little bit of fight, and then Bass came over and was like, with the paw, like, wait, what? There's got to be food or something over there, then, right? Like, it's food, right? Um, hold on, y'all. She's so cute. Um, yeah, they do. Yeah, she gives me hugs all the time. It's weird. Like, as soon as I pick her up, she's like, hug time. Um, she's a goofy cat. Okay, so I can't remember. I was gonna tell y'all about a an anime that Maki and I have been watching, but I can't remember the name of it now. Shoot. I'm sorry, y'all. I was gonna tell you about this anime. We're going to talk about video games and the different kinds of video games because baby girl loves Pokemon, absolutely adores Pokemon. Um, so yeah, it's a cute game. She also loves Minecraft. hmm And interestingly enough, she is quite the builder in Minecraft. It's kind of amazing. She built this like it was like a tower with like pillars and stuff, and like it's actually really cool. There's a live action Pokemon movie. Really? I didn't know that. We'll have to look that up. Have like a Pokemon movie night or something for her. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna get going. Oh, my clock is on military time randomly. All right, I'm gonna get going. I am gonna try to stream several times tomorrow. We're gonna talk about some finer points of DV and just kind of hone in on something because there was one of the victims that I was working with over the weekend had some questions about something, so we're going to go over that. Jack Black and okay, if it's got Jack Black in it, it's going to be funny AF. I actually like him. He's a goofus, but he's funny. Um, so yeah, so and also I forgot to say at the beginning. I was going to say this at the beginning, but I forgot. We have a whole bunch of new subscribers. Thank y'all. In no time, it's looking like we'll be at like 2,000 subscribers, and that's awesome. And wow, y'all on the replay crew, hold on a second. We have to do a shout out to the replay crew. Y'all are, you just, wow. I'm stunned by how many of y'all have went back and watched old videos and you're commenting and all of that and asking questions. And I'm so thankful because that helps me to understand what things I need to kind of like, questions that I need to answer or like help speak on. That helps me a lot. Giving me that feedback helps me to make better videos for you. So yeah, thank y'all so much. That is amazing. And it also helps boost up in the algorithm. And the next, several live streams, we're going to be disseminating info as much as humanly possible to try to get people, the knowledge they need. Because if you're in a DV situationship right now, now is the time to do what you can to get out. Now's the time. And in other actually amazing news, there are so many groups coming together, working together, and getting people into safe places. It's amazing. It's all over the country and it's beautiful. I'm in times of high stress and tension, you see both the worst and the best of people. And I'm seeing so much good out there right now going down. And it is amazing. And I'm just saying. So I'm going to try to do 3 live streams a day. I'm going to try to keep it at like half an hour per live stream. And the more y'all engage, in the chat and in the comments, the better it is, the more help we can be, all of us. We're going to be showing some videos. Y'all know I'm nervous about that, okay? I don't want to get my channel struck. But at this point, it's worth the risk. I don't care anymore. Like, we have to talk about some things. And I'm going to try to link to those videos so that you can, to help the other content creators out is what I'm trying to say. So, There's a lot of really good news sources on YouTube. I'm going to try to help connect you with people. Check out Don Lemon, for example. He's doing some really good videos speaking with farmers who are like illuminating the problems that farmers are going to have. The information's out there. The reality is out there, so you can see where the problems are. And who knows, you might be someone who can help with that. Who knows? All right, y'all. I'm going to get going. Thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. And I hope you have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love y'all.